Hello, and welcome back to the Macro Gamer channel. My name is Mark Cassingham. Today we're going into week 45 of our Shield Portfolio weekly numbers. This is as of May 31st, 2025, so it's today on Saturday. So as always, we're going to go through our charts and our slide deck. So we have a current portfolio net worth of $557.98. with a all-time performance of up 11.87% for a market gain of $35.84. We'll go over more into that. This is just like the overall snapshot of the portfolio's net worth. We have our portfolio weekly data for week 45. So this is from May 23rd till today, it's 31st. We had no net cash flow, so no cash deposit during this week. We had a market loss of $6.72. So as you can see on the chart, the market came down, or at least our portfolio came down. And we have no dividends earned. And that leaves us with a money-weighted return of negative 1.19%. So we're down 1.19% for the week. This is for week 45. Next, we have our portfolio monthly data for week 45. This is from April 30th, 2025 till today, May 30th, or 31st. In this, we have one net cash flow right here on May 14th. So this was a deposit of $30 right here. You see the spike up on the chart. So this is not market performance. This is cash deposit into the portfolio, which buys the assets based on their weighting. In that month period from April 30th till today, we had a market gain of $5.25, and we have a dividend earned of 27 cents, which gives us a total gain of $5.52 for the month. And our money-weighted return is positive 1.02% for the month. So this is week 45 from April 30th till today. Then we have our quarterly data for week 45. So this is over a 3-month period. We have, this is from February 28th, 2025 until today. We have a net cash flow of $120.21. So you're going to see 4 $30 deposits over that quarter. So you got one here, you got one here, you got one here, you got one here. So it's $120 cash deposit over that time. So this isn't just market performance, it's also cash deposit. Over that period, we have a market gain of $14.60, and we have a dividend earned of $1.01, which gives us a total gain of $15.61 over that quarter. That gives us a money-weighted rate of return of positive 3.20%. So we're up 3.20% for the quarter. So this is our quarterly data for week 45. Then we have our all-time data for week 45. So this is from the very beginning, from, you see here, July 19th, 2024. This is where we started at 0, put our initial $100 deposit. So it went up right here. And then every third week, we did a $30 deposit. And we have $524.68 of cash flow. So it's $520, and then the $468 is extra cash. It's going to be from all the deposits. So you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 different deposits over that time period. 14 times 30 gives you 420, plus the initial $100 that we started with gives us 520 for cash flow. So this is from portfolio inception until today, 45 weeks worth of data right here. Over that time period, we have a market gain of $33.30, and we have dividends earned of $2.54, which gives us a total gain of $35.84. And over that time period, we have a money-weighted return of positive 11.87%. So this is our all-time data from start till today. Then we have our percentages. This is showing our weekly percentages. And on the right, as always, we go over our target allocations. So right up at top at 45%, we have gold with our GLD ETF. Next, at 15%, we have our bonds with our GOVI ETF. After that, we have our commodities at 15% with our USCI ETF. Then we have our stocks at 10% with our RSP ETF. Then we have our US dollar currency at 10% with our UUP ETF. And then we have Bitcoin at 5% with our IBIT ETF. So these are our current target weightings. I've gone above and beyond putting gold at 45%. It's far higher than I want it to be, but everything else is pretty volatile. April was a horrible, volatile month. May, not as much, but I've been kind of sustaining at 45. I do want it to come down at some point, but just market performance has been crazy, so I've just been leaving it. So our weekly numbers, our weekly percentages. We have gold down 1.99%, call it 2%, over the week for a market loss of $5.21. So gold had a pullback this week. Last week it went up a lot. This week it pulled back, and we'll see that on the chart. You'll see the choppiness. Bonds up 1.35% for the week for a gain of $1.11. Commodities down 2.80% for a market loss of $2.28. So gold and commodities also giving back. RSP, our stocks, up 1.21% for a market gain of 66 cents. US dollar up 0.28% for a market gain of 15 pennies. And Bitcoin down 3.81% for a market loss of $1.15. So Bitcoin kind of hit that all-time high, and it's just been kind of giving back ever since. I think as of right now, it's like at 104,000-ish. We'll see. Now we have our monthly percentages for week 45. So we have gold up 0.23% for a market gain of 57 pennies. Gold has not done shit for this 30-day period, so it's a shame, but it's okay. Bonds down 1.85% for market loss of $1.52, so bonds still suck. Commodities up 1.55% for a market gain of $1.21. Stocks up 4.32% for a market gain of $2.29. So been a rally in stocks, been a comeback in stocks. Post Liberation Day, there's been like a turnaround. US dollar up 0.11% for a market gain of 6 pennies. And Bitcoin up 11.15% for a market gain of $2.91. So this is like the rally we've been seeing in Bitcoin. Although as you can see on the weekly, it's been giving back this past week. So it's down 3.81%. But over the month, up over 11%. Then we have our quarterly percentages for week 45. Gold over the quarter up 12.41% for a market gain of $20.89. Bonds, we actually do have over 3 months worth of data with this GOVI ETF now, so this is accurate. So bonds down 4.44% for a market loss of $3.43. Commodities down 0.34% for a market loss of 28 pennies. Stocks down 2.62% for a market loss of $1.73. US dollar down a devastatingly 7.94%, just call it 8%, for a market loss of $5.59. There goes my currency. I, as an American, there goes my currency, just going down. Shame. And then Bitcoin up 25.09% for a market gain of $5.75. Then we have our all-time data for week 45. So this is from inception till now. So not all these ETFs have been in since the beginning, but this is the numbers we get based on the calculation. So gold up 36.08% for a market gain of $33.07. Bonds, this will not be accurate because we do not have that much data. We barely have over 3 months, so we'll skip that, but we'll get more into the charts. Commodities up 7.38% for a market gain of $3.59. RSP down 2.28% for a market loss of 98 cents. So still all-time data for stocks are down for this portfolio. The US dollar down 10.08% for a market loss of $5.39. So US dollar not very good. And then Bitcoin, and I don't have the full time period for this one either. This only goes back to September 3rd. But still good enough data where we could measure it out. But we're up 72.89% for market gain of $9.05. So I could have more on this, but I switched from BITO to IBIT because BITO's trend correlation to Bitcoin was ass. So I chose to switch to IBIT. These are our position changes going back to July 21st. So every time I increased or decreased an allocation, I've shown how I moved the money from one asset to another. April, by far the busiest month, I have 6 different times that I traded. So you see 4-4-25, 4-7-25, 4-10-25, 4-14-25, 4-30-25, and another one on 4-30-25. Right, so April was a very busy month. A lot of trading happening. But anytime I moved money around, you can basically see how I did it, so you can follow the transactions, so you can understand, how I change. For this week, we have no portfolio transactions. Then we have our Illuvium staking dashboard for week 45. We have the current ILV price at $12.55. We recently bought some ILV, which I'll show. So the previous week we're at 15 ILV. Now with the new ILV I added, we're at 18.18 ILV staked. And that's for a current market value of $228.17. So it's our staking dashboard. This area in here kind of messed up when I was loading the page, but that's fine. I have what I need still. We have our Illuvium investing. So our very first vest on July of 2024 unlocks in 57 days. So that means I will be able to claim this ILV here, 1.32 ILV. But keep in mind, any revenue distribution that may come for this being staked, I will lose. Right? And since the price is so low, I really have no reason to claim this ILV. If the price starts skyrocketing, then I would like, oh hell yeah, let me get a return on my investment. Yeah, I'll miss out on the some of the revenue, but at least my tokens will be more valuable. So I could, exchange those, sell those, hold on to those, whatever. But right now it's like $12 a token. It's like so low. So I'm not going to do anything. This is page 2, and you see right here at the bottom on 5/30/2025, that's yesterday, May 30th, I bought some ILV, $40 worth, like I do every month. And because the price is so low, for the first time I got over 3 ILV in one purchase. So I got 3.18 ILV in one purchase, and I staked it. So this will unlock in 364 days, a full year, full waiting, a waiting of 2, so I get double rewards. That's my goal. So that's our vesting schedule for our second page vesting schedule. And then we have our revenue distribution. As you can see, I still have $0. No new revenue. What the fuck? Currently claimed, I have 0.024 ILV. So this was 3 revenue distribution payments that equal, at a current market value, 30 cents. I would love to see more, but I'm not getting it, so that's fine. Here's my transaction for the Illuvium token. So you can see on May 30th, 2025 at 4:51 p.m. I received from Coinbase my 3.18 ILV, which I paid $39.89. And then I sent it to my wallet so I could stake it. So on May 30th, same day, a couple minutes later, then I sent this over to my wallet and I staked it. So that 3.18 ILV, that's what you see right here, that 3.18 ILV. So that's what I got on the May 30th. So I bought it and then staked it. So $40 worth got me 3.18 and I staked it. So these are my transactions for that week. And that's it for our slide deck, our weekly numbers. So now let's go into our charts. As always, still we start with gold, 45% allocation. Still see this trend happening. So if we go back to, as always, right about here, this bottom, October of 2023, this trend has been up and to the right. It's fallen in and out of the trend a little bit, but it's mostly been inside this trend. Up until right about here on April of 2025. It just shot up, right? This was post 90-day pause. So April 9th was the 90-day pause. Then boom, gold shot up. And then it starts chopping up and down. But you notice it it's chopping up and down between this upper green line and then this, I should say, ascending upper green line, and then this descending red line, right? So it's chopping around in this area now. So I don't know what's going to happen. It might break down and come back into this green trend, or it might break out and break above this red line. I don't know what's going to happen. I'm just looking at the charts. If it comes back into this green trend, that means it goes down, which I won't be necessarily happy with. But if it stays in this uptrend, that means the trend is still up, right? And if it breaks above this one, then that means the red line, then that means the trade is still up. As of right now, this is kind of where we're at. So maybe in the next week or two, we'll see this kind of play out. We'll see what happens. Commodities, USCI. So on the 5-year, you see since the beginning of the COVID pandemic, gotta sneeze. Pardon me. Since the beginning of the COVID pandemic, it's been up and to the right, commodities, and then broke out of this trend. Very volatile. This is post Liberation Day. Commodities crashed, then 9-day pause. Commodities went back up, then chop, and then recent news or whatever, it's been coming back down, but it's still, relatively speaking, above this green trend. So this green trend goes back, July of 2022, up and to the right, this trend. So it's still above the trend line, and even if it falls down, it'll still be in this ascending trend line. Right, we're seeing what's happening, or we're going to see what happens. But right now, it's still above the trend line, so that's fine. Now, I think commodities and gold are very similar because they're just trading very similar. So, so far, this is how they're kind of performing. We don't know what happened when it's going to give back from here, if it's going to go back up. I'm still not giving up on the inflation fight. I think we're still going to have it, whether people realize it or not. I don't know if tariffs are going to help the situation or not. So we have our bond ETF. So similar to the commodities, you go back 5 years, the beginning of the pandemic, you got complete opposites, right? Commodities up, bonds down, right? All the way down. So right around here, October 23rd, same time around when we hit that bullish trend for gold, or at least a gold ETF, it's been going up. We dropped down recently below this trend line. So this is last week. It dropped below the trend line, but now look, it's come back up and it just popped up inside this trend line. Right? So very interesting. I don't know if this trend is going to continue up or if it's going to bounce down or what it's going to do. All I know is I hate bonds. They're heavily manipulated by the Fed. So you just kind of see the performance for what it is. So I still have 15% in commodities and bonds, and I have 10% in dollar and stocks, just because I think these are the less volatile of the two and have a somewhat better trend. So that's kind of what I'm looking at right now for bonds. US dollar. So I remember back when this was coming down and it got pretty low, and that's when I reduced my position from 15% to 10%. And then of course the position reversed, started going up, which of course makes me look dumb. But then it hit this red line and then it came back down again. So it's actually come back down, hopefully to around where I fucking changed my position. But the US dollar is still coming down. If we look at the actual DXY, you see the same thing. So you have the up and the down. And then it started going up and then it dropped down and gone sideways. So we're still at this relatively low point. If you contrast that over the past 5 years, let's put a line on that because that's going to be a good line to see what happens. So we see a lot of it happening around, right around that $100 too. Let's see if I get that line right about there. Good enough. So interesting how it pops up, comes down, hits this line, comes up, comes right above the line, goes up, comes down, hits the line, goes up, hits the line, goes up, goes through the line. Right, the $100 is a psychological support. This is what it looks like going back all the way to 1967. Right, what happened back here? Strong as fuck dollar, right? This is when probably American exceptionalism was at its height. Right, when this currency was so goddamn strong, we were hitting fucking 160. 160 on this fucking thing. And then bam, crashed. Right, then we tried coming back again. 2000 bubble. And then bam, crashed. And then we just chopped in 2008. Well, now we're back up again. So historically speaking, I think we're at anything above 100's a stronger, air quotes, stronger level to be at versus all these other levels where some of these go down as low as 71. Call it 70. You know, the DXY is 70, so that's a really weak dollar. Maybe we're like middle of the range, we couldn't be better, but who knows? As an individual, as an American, you know, I would love my dollar to be strong. That means I have more purchasing power, but it is what it is. Manipulation happens at many levels of government, including the currency. But that's kind of where we're at. I'm leaving it at 10% because they hit that line, it's come back down, so it's still below this red trend line. The reason why there's this cross like this, because I don't know which way the trend's going, so I'm just putting these lines there to try to figure it out, try to see what sticks. RSP, our stocks. So we had our big sell-off, right? This is a post-Liberation Day, and then it came back after 9-day pause, and then bam, hit that line right there, just perfect, and then got rejected, and then came down and kind of going a little sideways, trying to consolidate. All right. So what does that look like on the S&P? Same. Oh yeah, and I put this line here. I forgot about that. I put this line because this was like the previous high, like right around here. Actually, it's probably right about there. Right about there. It's a little more accurate. And then it bounced. It's up. So right now, kind of like gold, bouncing in between its trend. So if you look at the GLD ETF, so it's above this trend line, but below this trend line, it's kind of bouncing in between it. Same thing with this trend right now. It's above this blue line and below this green line, so it's kind of bouncing around this trend. So if this trend expands, because like if we measure out and we extend this line, right, it's going to open up more and more and more. You know, it might get more volatile and go up. It might hit this, go down. It might go back up into this green trend. We don't really know what it's going to do yet. But right now, it's kind of bouncing between this trend. So stocks are definitely rallied hard post 90-day pause, right? Because everyone's afraid of tariffs, and then they're like, "Oh, no tariffs," and then like they try to buy everything back, but they're still down from the all-time high. All right, all-time highs up here at 6150, call it, just to make it even, and then we're down here at 58.95. Right, so we're still not at all-time high yet. My portfolio is at all-time high because how I'm investing, I've mostly been in gold, but the stock market's not back at the all-time high yet. And even further away, the equal weight ETF supposed to be at like 187 for the all-time high, and then we're at 176, so we still got a ways to go. So stocks rallied hard, but they hit a wall with this fucking trend line right here. So we'll see what happens. And then Bitcoin, which was doing so good, look at this trend just from post-Liberation Day, 90-day pause for tariffs, just Bitcoin's woo up and to the right, and then bam, starting to correct, starting to come back now. Now I wonder why that is. What's the news on that? Or just like the news on Bitcoin going up, I have no idea. The reason why it's going down, I have no idea. But interesting how well this line syncs up though. Like it came above the line and then now it's back down. I'm not saying it's going to keep going down. I have no idea. I have no fucking clue what's going to happen. But it's just interesting that that's happening now. I have to make my arrows look better. Now if we look at it on a 5-year, sorry, not a 5-year, we look at this nearly decade-long trend. I like to share every week. So we got the 2017 peak, got the 2 peaks in 2021, got the peak at the end of 2024 and beginning of 2025. Now here we are in May of 2025, peaked again. This line so far has been holding. So far it's been holding. So don't know what's going to happen. But it's already starting to go back below the line now. Just barely. It's already starting to go back below the line. I know people want to hit that 120. As soon as whatever price target Bitcoin hits, people are always like, the next one. Same thing with gold, same thing with stocks and everything. Well, the next one, right? They just keep looking up, not down. Like you gotta look both ways. Like when you cross the street, you look both ways. It just makes sense. You don't just look one way and assume the other way is fine. So you look up, it could go up, but it could also go down. So I'm still waiting to see what happens with this line. I would love it to get rejected on this line, honestly, because just this line syncs up so well. I have nothing against Bitcoin. I like Bitcoin, but like, dude, like this line, like it just syncs up pretty fucking well. So we'll see what happens. As always, we'll see what happens. Anyway, that was my update for the week for the Shield portfolio. As always, if you have any questions, comments, or criticisms, let me know. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.